Hi there, I'm Mark Teacher, and welcome to another weekend worksheet. This weekend, we're talking about IELTS speaking again, and in this worksheet, I'm going to show you two ways you can answer IELTS speaking questions that really depend on your circumstances. In IELTS speaking, especially in part 1, you might get questions like this. What clothes do you normally wear? How much sleep do you get every night? And how do you feel when you listen to music? These questions sound quite simple and straightforward, but actually, when you think about it, they can be a little bit tricky because some students have more than one answer. For example, what clothes do you normally wear? Well, where am I? What am I doing? Do you mean the clothes I wear at home, like a t-shirt and jeans? Or do you mean the clothes I wear at work, which is a button-up shirt and some trousers and dress shoes? Those clothes are very different, so which one should I talk about? How much sleep do you get every night? Well, when is it? Is it the weekend, when I stay up late and watch movies and play games? Or is it the week, where I have to wake up early the next morning? That changes, so which one should I talk about? And how do you feel when you listen to music? Okay, what kind of music? Pop music, which is uplifting, fast, and makes me feel good? Or do you mean classical music, which helps me focus and relax? What should I talk about? In this lesson, I'll tell you how to talk about both. And we're going to use one phrase in a simple way and another phrase in a slightly more advanced version. Just because the advanced version is advanced, it doesn't mean it's better and using the simple version will lower your score. I'm just giving you some options if you want to show a greater variety to the examiner and maybe increase your score that way. So let's start with the simple version of it depends. And the simple version of it depends is it depends on followed by a noun. For example, it depends on the season. It depends on the person. It depends on the day. The noun, the season, the person, the day, is the thing that changes my circumstances and therefore changes my answer. On the screen, you can see A to H. There are two different words, and they help you create the it depends on phrase. For example, June, December. June and December are months, and they're in opposite times of the year, so it depends on the season. What you do in June is very different from what you do in December, probably because of the weather. B is my mother and my colleague. So, which noun best suits those two topics? It depends on the person. Maybe the question is about buying a gift. The gift you buy really depends on the person. The gift I buy for a colleague could be small and inexpensive, but the gift I buy for my mother or a family member should be more meaningful and maybe cost a bit more as well. C is Tuesday and Saturday. Of course, it depends on the day. This could mean the activities, the hobbies that you do on these different days. On Tuesday, I probably won't go to a bar and drink with my friends, but on Saturday, yeah, I don't have work on Sunday, so I'll probably do something very different. D is sunny and rainy. It depends on the weather. Again, the activities I choose to do will be very different on a rainy day and on a sunny day. On a sunny day, I might go to the park. I might go hiking. I might have a picnic outside. If it's raining, I'm probably going to stay home and watch TV. E is Australia and Russia. So it depends on the country. If I'm a tourist and I go on vacation in Russia, I'm probably going to do different activities than I will in Australia. I probably can't do any winter sports in Australia because it's too hot, and I probably won't go to the beach in Russia unless it's very sunny and in the south. F is giving a big presentation and having coffee with friends. It depends on the situation. These are two very different situations. Giving a big presentation is probably at work, and it's probably quite a serious event. It's a serious situation. That could change the clothes I wear. That could change how I feel. That could change how much sleep I want to get the night before. Having coffee with my friends is a very casual situation. So again, that affects my mood, my clothes, and maybe how much sleep I want to get beforehand. G is happy and sad. It depends on my mood. Again, what I do and what I want to do depends on if I feel happy or if I feel sad. If I feel happy, maybe I want to hang out with my friends. I want to listen to happy music. But if I feel a bit down, a bit sad, maybe I want to listen to sad music. Maybe I want to eat ice cream in bed and just watch films. So my mood changes what I do. And that means H, 6:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. It depends on my schedule. By schedule, I'm talking about work schedule or university or school schedule. If I have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning tomorrow, I'm obviously, I should, go to bed earlier the night before. However, if I don't have to wake up and I don't have anything planned until 11:30, I can sleep in, or I can stay up until 1 or 2 a.m. the night before. So these things change my answer. They change my behavior. This is the simplest way to use it depends. It tells the examiner you've got two different answers or two different circumstances. So what should you say next? The best way to continue is to use the first conditional. It depends on should be the first word of your answer. Then you can explain the two different situations using the first conditional. For example, which do you prefer? Staying home or going outside? Well, it depends on the season. If it's June and the weather is nice and sunny, I like to go outside and go hiking or see my friends at a beer garden. But if it's winter, then it's too cold to have fun outside, so I just stay home and read or watch movies. The first conditional is correct because it describes realistic things that are true now. It's also a slightly easier conditional because you just need to use will and can and the present tense. Another example. Do you usually go to bed early or stay up late? It depends on the day. If it's Tuesday night, then I have to work the next day, so I'll go to bed quite early. But if it's the weekend, then I'll stay up late and watch a movie or meet up with my friends in the evening. So using the first conditional, I can explain in full the two different circumstances that change my behavior and give me two different answers. This helps my grammar score because I'm using the first conditional, and because I'm able to extend my answer, and if I can talk smoothly and continuously without stopping, it should improve my fluency score as well. Okay, now we can look at the spicy advanced version. This is a little bit more difficult and takes a bit more practice. If this is a bit overwhelming, feel free to re-watch this video, or just stick to it depends on and then the noun. A lot of students do that and still get good scores in IELTS. For this advanced version, we're going to use relative clauses. A relative clause is usually a question word which replaces the word for a noun. It also allows us to keep describing a noun afterwards. Like, this is a cup which is full of juice, which extends the noun of juice or cup and allows me to keep describing it. We're going to use 4 different relative clauses, and they change depending on what you're talking about. We're also going to change the position of the prepositions. You'll notice that they get kicked to the end of the sentence, like this. So, I am coming from a place. I come from a place. From is an important preposition, so we need to keep it. However, place is replaced by where. A place where. We actually don't say place at all. It gets completely replaced by where. From gets kicked to the very end. So it becomes, it depends on where I'm coming from. It depends on where I'm coming from. Next is, I am going out at a time. So, out is the preposition. Time is replaced by when. It becomes, it depends on when I'm going out. I'm working with a person. Person becomes who, so it's, it depends on who I'm working with. It depends on who I'm working with. And the last one is a little bit special. What? You say what in the sentence and keep the noun too. In this case, I am listening to music. Music is the noun, to is the preposition, and it becomes, it depends on what music I'm listening to. I say what and music. It depends on what music I'm listening to. Another example is, it depends on what time it's on. It depends on what radio station it is on. So this takes a bit of practice, so let's practice some more. Let's just practice with what. What is special because it keeps the noun. I have a short phrase. Can you add it depends on the relative clause and then finish the sentence with the correct grammar? For example, it is on a TV channel. This becomes, it depends on what TV channel it is on. Again, my preposition got kicked to the very end. It depends on what TV channel it's on. Try B. I am flying with an airline. I'm flying with an airline. It depends on what airline I'm flying with. It depends on what airline I'm flying with. C. I'm listening to a radio station. It depends on what radio station I'm listening to. It depends on what radio station I'm listening to. And D, I am learning about a subject. It depends on what subject I'm learning about. It depends on what subject I'm learning about. Okay. Whoops. So, what is a slightly special one because we need to keep the noun afterwards? Let's do a different relative clause. Who. Here, we don't need to say a noun after who. It is wrong to say who person, who man, who boss, who colleague. That's not correct. Just say who. For example, I'm talking to a person. It depends on who I'm talking to. It depends on who I'm talking to. Maybe it's my boss, maybe it's my friend. That changes the way I behave, it changes the language I use. Depends who I'm talking to. Try B. I'm hanging out with a person. It depends on who I'm hanging out with. It depends on who I'm hanging out with. Again, the clothes I wear depend on who I'm hanging out with. The way I speak depends on who I'm hanging out with. What I drink, what I eat, maybe depends on who I'm hanging out with as well. See, I'm traveling with someone. It depends on who I'm traveling with. It depends on who I'm traveling with. Do I prefer to go camping when I go on holiday or stay in a 5-star resort? That depends on who I'm traveling with. If it's me and my partner, I want to stay somewhere nice and fancy, like a 5-star resort. If it's just me, then camping is fine. D. I'm working for someone. It depends on who I'm working for. You can use for to describe, you can use who to describe a company. Who do you work for? I work for Microsoft. Who do you work for? And who I work for can mean the company or the business. So if I work for Twitter or a tech company, I can wear a t-shirt in the office, and that's totally fine. But if I work in a bank in the city centre, maybe I'm supposed to wear a suit with a tie. So it depends on who I'm working for. Okay, one more with where. Again, where just replaces the word or the noun place. You don't have to add an extra noun. For example, I bought it from a place. It depends on where I bought it from. Depends on where I bought it from. I could talk about gifts or presents. B. I'm flying into a place. It depends on where I'm flying into. Flying into means landing. Some major cities have 2 or more airports. London, for example, has like 5 airports. And your journey to your hotel, your journey to your destination, depends on where you're flying into. If you're flying into an airport on the outskirts of the city, it's going to take a long time to reach the center. But if you land right in the middle, then you're going to have a short and more convenient trip. So it depends on where you're flying into. See, I'm traveling to somewhere. It depends on where I'm traveling to. It depends on where I'm traveling to. What clothes should you bring on vacation? It depends on where I'm traveling to. If I'm going to Hawaii, then I'm going to bring sunglasses, short sleeves, shorts, and lots of sunscreen. If I'm going to the mountains, if I'm going skiing in the Alps, I'm going to bring winter gear. It depends on where I'm traveling to. And D, you come from somewhere. It depends on where you come from. It depends on where you come from. Some people from certain countries seem to enjoy certain types of food or cuisine, and maybe if you can find that cuisine in your destination, you will have a better time. Okay, so that's the advanced version. I hope that makes a little bit more sense, and now's your chance to practice it. I've chosen some IELTS Speaking Part 1 questions, which I think you could interpret in different ways, and some people may have circumstances that change their answer. For example, do you prefer wearing formal or casual clothes? Depends on the situation. Do you like going shopping? Depends where we go. So try answering these questions. You can write your comments, your answers, in the comments below. I've put the simple version on the left side and the more advanced complex version on the right. If you write an answer on Facebook or on YouTube, I will take the time to correct it when I see it and give you some feedback. If you want to practice this specific grammar point some more, I have a full worksheet with more questions, more exercises, more tips available right now, as well as worksheets for the other videos that I've made here on YouTube, and there's more to come. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about the video, please leave me a comment below. If you click like and subscribe, that would be fantastic as well. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.